Do you remember Hannah Gadsby? She's the portly LGBTQ plus comedian from Australia who shot to fame with her Netflix special Nanette.
I'm not a man-hater, but I am afraid of men. If I'm the only woman in a room full of men, I am afraid. And if you think that's unusual, you're not speaking to the women in your life. I don't hate men, but I wonder how a man would feel if they'd have lived my life. Because it was a man who sexually abused me when I was a child. It was a man who beat the shit out of me when I was 17. It was two men who raped me when I was barely in my 20s. Tell me, why is that okay? Why was it okay to pick me off the pack like that and do that to me?
Yeah, she's the one that somehow built a comedy career out of pure victimhood and oppression points. And while Nanette was about as funny as a fire at a children's cancer ward, it somehow scored rave reviews from professional critics and landed her right in the spotlight of fame.
This is not normal. The world's gone a bit crazy. I mean, for somebody like me, and a nobody from nowhere gets this sweet gig. Free suit, new boots, just because I don't like men. Hashtag not all men, but a lot of them. Men.
Apart from performing the world's most depressing comedy special and whining about men at awards ceremonies, Hannah spent a lot of 2018 and 2019 lashing out at other comedians and reaffirming her victimhood status on Twitter. History is edited in real time now. Survivors have spoken and their stories can't be erased, revised or muted for historical effect. They're already indelible to our collective hippocampus. Hashtag believe survivors. Hashtag survivors believe survivors. Hashtag too many survivors to ignore. More hate than usual today. Happy hashtag International Women's Day. No, Roseanne, your show was not cancelled because you voted for Trump. It was cancelled because of why you voted for him. Hashtag racist. Louis C.K. again? Without warning, a sex pest gets the loudest voice in the room and shows he's still better at gripping his own genitals than the concept of consent. World is a gross hashtag boys club where the punchline still gets to be the comedian and the criminal still gets to be the judge. I'd never heard of this Norm Macdonald bloke because I didn't want to make a comment about him. I don't like him though. Hashtag dick biscuit. Barry Humphries loves those who hold power, hates vulnerable minorities and has completely lost the ability to read the room. That's not a comedian. That's an irrelevant, inhumane dick biscuit of the highest order. Yep, that's right. She had a crack at Australia's most legendary comedian Barry Humphries after he shared a pretty tame opinion on the sacred valid people who shall not be mentioned unless they're being showered with love and affirmation. This in part led to the renaming of the prestigious Barry Award at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, one of the most popular comedy festivals on earth, a festival Barry co-founded in 1987. He never really got over this right up until his death earlier this year. Imagine jumping on a transphobia lynch mob against a legendary old comedian like Barry Humphries, a guy who was most well known for playing a woman throughout his career.
This is an original by Mary Quant.
Really?
It is. She was a wonderful designer of the 60s, and you know, I've had this since that far off age, and I've never had any alterations on it. It's never been changed. My Quant is the same size as it was in the 60s.
So we've established that Hannah Gadsby is a bitter, unfunny douchebag of a comedian. But why do I bring her up now? Well, last year she embarked on her new body of work tour. I am home. I have not been home in a year. I love home. I don't want to leave home, but alas, I must. There are too many mediocre men to upset to quit just yet, says Mum. Please join me on the tail end of the Oz and New Zealand leg of my body of work tour. Then she announced the show would be filmed as a Netflix comedy special. I'm pretty excited to be filming my new feel-good show Body of Work at the Sydney Opera House. Yep, I'm back at the scene of the Nanette crime. The shebang of it will premiere on Netflix at some point in the future, I suppose. So Netflix released the Body of Work special in May 2023, and as soon as it came out, I knew eventually I was going to have to white-knuckle my way through it. It's taken a few months to build up the nerve, but I have in fact now watched it in its entirety. Even at 1.5 times play speed, it gave me a splitting headache and put me in a foul mood. But I did it, so you don't have to. Now let's look at some highlights. So let's start with Hannah Gadsby's tried and true formula. I am a lesbian and I don't like men.
But I do like to brag that I married a bisexual woman because it upsets a very particular kind of man that I really enjoy upsetting. Because this is a decision. And you weren't. Again, I didn't specify who this was a feel-good show for.
Riveting. I am a lesbian, man bad. Yay!
I proposed to Jeno. It wasn't a given. I'm not the man one. We're in a genuinely queer relationship, right? Which means when it comes to the division of labour, we just divvy up the jobs according to actual skill sets and whoever can be fucked. And it works. It really does. We always almost remember to put the bins out. Every week, almost. It's a great time.
How the fuck was that funny? I proposed to my wife, and we almost always forget to put the bins out. This is comedy these days? The mind just boggles. And who are these people laughing, and why are they laughing? It's almost as if somebody inserted a laugh track. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
I did not get down on bended knee. Fuck that shit. I've had 3 knee reconstructions.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm not one to go as low as to comment on someone's looks, but you, Hannah Gadsby, are extremely fat. You're so fat that you fucked your knees and had to have knee reconstructions.
My patella are spongy. It's actually quite painful for me to kneel. That's why I can't sleep with men.
Yeah, that makes absolutely zero sense. Now, to her credit, she admits this, but the crowd again just lap it up because she's a lesbian and she made a funny about man and she is fat. The winning trifecta of comedy, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a joke, and it doesn't even make sense. There are other far more compelling reasons.
Whoop, another man yucky joke. Hilarious. Please, Hannah, won't you give us some more whimsical lesbianic antidotes?
I once got dumped because I got caught out in a lie. I was really delighted, personally, because I'm really bad at lying. Like, I can't swallow pretend cheese and then not tell you about it. Like,
What the fuck?
So for me to be able to tell a lie, then hold on to it for long enough for it to become a betrayal of trust, that felt to me like a sign of maturation, you know? Like, one day I'll be a real boy, you know?
That was funny. Very, very funny.
What happened was my girlfriend asked if I wanted an ice cream. I know, high stakes. And I said yes, because I wanted the ice cream. That wasn't the lie. I'm not a monster. But this is how I said yes. I said, yeah, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. And she said, wow, did you just make that up? Yes, I did. Yes.
You see my pain now, right? I had to sit through an hour and 10 minutes of this. And it's something about the audience reaction, that hysterical laughter, when it's just objectively not funny. I mean, you've seen those clips of The Big Bang Theory with the laugh track taken out.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Box. Window.
Batman. Batman and Robin. Wonder Twins plus the monkey. Wonder Twins plus the monkey and Batman.
Imagine this shit without a laugh track. You'd think she's just fucking insane. She then goes on to talk about her dogs because she loves her dogs and somehow turns that into a lesbian joke too.
No, it's okay. He's a rescue. He knows his place. Oh! That's the edgiest joke you can do in front of a lesbian heavy audience, isn't it? It's like punch down on a rescue animal. Edgelord! It's just jokes. I love him. He's my little rescue prince. Don't worry. Anyway.
Oh, God. The headache's coming back now just watching clips of this. And finally she leaves us with some sort of manic rant about how she killed a sick rabbit in front of her wife and then had some sort of spastic panic attack.
I said it was diseased. I brought it out of its misery under here. It had myxomatosis. We call it mixo because we're fun with words. It was an introduced disease because colonialism was never a good idea. If you need to go back to America, you should. I don't want you to go, but you must miss your family and friends. You should go. Zoom, we can hold up. We don't know how long this is going to last, but we're strong. Zoom's fine. It's awful, but we'll cope. If you need to go, what do you need me to do? What should I do? What am I supposed to do? What's the right thing for me to do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Oh, well, I'm glad that's over. That's the last clip. We're not watching anymore. I'm sorry. Now, at least this one wasn't as bad as Nanette. It wasn't just some sort of victimhood. Where, I'm oppressed. I'm a lesbian, I got abused, all that sort of shit. You can tell she actually tried to do some comedy here, but it just didn't land, with me anyway. I mean, the audience clearly loved it, or the laugh track anyway. Thank you. But they're just my thoughts on the horrible Hannah Gadsby's latest comedy special. If you have any comments, leave them down below or at my Twitter account, @bear_ing. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta. Goodbye.
Recession.